It was just, that was out of the blue, right? Out of the blue, they came up with this whole import-export concept, and nobody knew anything about it.
Hello, it's Will Glasgow, the Australia's North Asia correspondent, coming to you from Glasgow, the world's heavy rare earths capital. Now, I've been down here on a reporting trip where it's pretty clear China's not only dominates this trade, but it's got a plan to continue to dominate it. And the other thing that's really clear from this trip is it's really secretive about that plan.
This is China versus the world.
Just behind me, there's one of the city government offices. In there is the temporary headquarters of what's called the China Rare Earth Group. It's the dominant, or one of two dominant China state-owned rare earth companies. And it's in there, it's been in there since the company was founded after a merger overseen by Beijing in 2021. That merger's given China huge dominance in the rare earths market. It already dominated the supply of this trade, but the merger is an attempt by Beijing to consolidate its position in the industry and give it more ability to influence the prices of the trade. Now, going around this city, especially on the outskirts, you can see a huge amount of change underway. So this is the temporary offices for the China Rare Earth Group. Not far from here is a huge new facility. They're what will be their permanent headquarters when they move in next year as the construction goes to plan. Now, that, as well as having a huge headquarters and a very rare Chinese state-owned enterprise headquarters to be not in Beijing, I should add, along with the headquarters itself, there's also going to be a huge science and tech facility there. And again, that's just part of this effort, a really serious one China's doing to keep investing in this industry to make sure it continues to dominate the trade. Now, also, all around the city, there's a lot of mines and factories and processing facilities that this trade is built on. And what you can see going around here, although with a bit of difficulty because a lot of these facilities have been blocked out on China's map services, but when you finally get to them, you can see a lot of the small operators have been closed down. Now, China's taking the environmental pollution that comes from this trade seriously. It's trying to improve the standards of this business. And so there's a lot of facilities that have been closed down, now in a process of being rehabilitated.
And we were just surprised that China have a very good relationship with President Xi, and they did that. This is not something that I, instigated. This was just a response to something that they did. And they didn't really aim it at us. They aimed it at the whole world. The whole world is subject to it. So I thought it was very, very bad.
There's also all sorts of products being built in new industrial facilities. So there's just in one stretch of road we went out to today, there was a new lithium battery facility under construction next to a rare earths magnet facility, over the road from another huge rare earths processing facility, next to a cobalt factory that's already underway, not far from a tungsten factory, all overseen by a giant coal-fired power station that was fueling it all. And so, this is a new wave of businesses that are either have recently been built or are under construction right now. And so it means that as the rest of the world, America and its allies particularly, try to respond and give itself alternate suppliers that aren't from China in this trade, well, the businesses they're going to be up against in that trade are all moving fast to become even more dominant, even more advanced.
China's position on addressing China-U.S. economic and trade issues has been consistent and clear. Trade wars and tariff wars produce no winners and do not serve the interests of any party. Both sides should resolve relevant issues through consultation on the basis of equality, mutual respect, and reciprocity.
China's not made much money from this trade at all, despite dominating it all. And so a lot of the recent measures to restrict the export of this trade that are being overseen by Beijing, there's a business case for that. It's an attempt to try to get more money from the rare earths trade that China dominates, and which is so important to new economic industries. But of course, there's also geopolitics, and Beijing's made that really clear, launching these new restrictions just weeks before President Xi's due to meet President Trump in South Korea on the sidelines of the APEC meeting. Now, The American president and his administration have made it clear they're filthy about these new restrictions. They're taking it very personally. They're saying there was no explanation, that they feel ambushed by it all. Well, it would seem the Chinese government's response is get used to it. China dominates this industry. It intends to keep dominating this industry. It wants the world to know that. At the same time, it also wants to keep a lot of the secret sauce that it has for that trade to itself, as I've found out repeatedly over the last few days. This is Will Glasgow, the Australia's North Asia correspondent, coming to you from Guangzhou.